a few times. I've been all the time. I've never made it this far. So I thought I'll go for it, and then I was going to fly drive. But then I had to glass of wine. Not a good idea. And someone suggested to me, "You want a cruise? Because you only unpack once."
Alright,
Alright folks,
so you like cruising?
it does appear that we are
Second
moving
cruise.
either that or the platformers, and we're in very big trouble. So we're just going to work our way off the platform here at the station. Particularly long it is, about 1,500 feet in old money. Just under half a kilometre. Fashion Week's coming up soon, and I hear the models will be strutting their stuff again on the platform here. This girl has some pretty long legs, need to stretch them out somehow.
What did he say?
It's I think the Dunedin Railways, so the Polytech has a fashion institute.
Oh.
Across the road crossing, past the station apartments here on our left hand side, part of the student accommodation. Very big university here in Dunedin, Otago Uni, the first university to open in New Zealand back in 1879. Coming up on the left hand side, one of my favourite buildings in all of town, Emerson's Brewery. Emerson's makes some pretty fine craft beer. And we do have some of their product on board, but not everything they make, because it is a fairly big catalogue. The next interesting building coming up, Forsyth Bar Stadium, or the stadium as we like to call it, because we do only have one. Still the only roofed stadium in the country, home to the mighty Highlanders, home to quite a few concerts as well. Just hosted the Red Hot Chili Peppers here the other day. Looks like Rod Stewart's coming back.
Hey mate.
It's Cyndi Lauper, that's an interesting combo. Out on our right, we start to work our way through the yacht clubs and rowing clubs at this end of the harbour. Gorgeous day today, bit of sunshine. It's been quite warm out there, even this morning. Looking across the harbour, Waverley sitting rather nicely in the sun this afternoon. Cyclists zooming by on the cycle and walkway here as we come up to the Ravensdown Fertiliser Works. Always reminds me of Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma bomber. As of course the peninsula on the far side of the water, two roads on the peninsula, the low road, which looks pretty busy today, and the high road cutting across the top on its way to Larnett's Castle. follow the skyline, you can see the monument there. That's the monument to the fallen soldiers of World War I.
Are you going to Larnac Castle?
No, I wanted to, but the cruise tour is all booked up. So
Oh, that's too bad.
yeah.
It's really beautiful up there.
I drive this time.
Past the Ravensbourne Yacht Club, home to one of Dunedin's most famous sailors, one Russell Coutts. Pretty handy sailor in his time, in fact probably still is. Won quite a few America's Cups, unfortunately not all of them for New Zealand. Well, lots of birds on the shoreline there, lots of gulls in the air. Bit of chop on the harbour today, and looking into the harbour, you see the green and red channel markers marking out the Victoria Channel, named after Queen Victoria. Looks rather greedy, has lots of things named after her. So the Victoria Channel is man-made, deliberately dug, so decent sized ships can get in to see into the harbour right down to town. Most of the really big ships stay out at Port Chalmers. We'll roll past that fairly shortly. Bay at the moment on the far side of the water. See the big blue boat shed there. Very child friendly beach and a great place to buy ice cream. Just working our way across the first of the causeways here, so there is water on both sides of us. Looking across the train, it does almost seem like we're flying across the water. The causeways were introduced to help speed up the trip from Port Chalmers into town. Took out some of the tight curves that the big freight trains had to roll through.
Remember that. That's good. There was this construction on the way. Oh.
Well, I will tell you when you miss a page and you take a photo.
That will serve him well.
I could have used this helmet.
Check the seats back in your car.
Coming through St Leonard's here. As we swing around the curve, the harbour starts to widen out a bit. Decent sized harbour here. They tell me created by a rather large volcano about 50 or 60 million years ago. Fortunately, we haven't seen much volcanic activity lately. So just coming across the last of the causeways, the longest one here. Now on our left hand side you can see the new bridge, just part of the cycleway linking Port Chalmers to town.
That is really cool.
So the hope is to eventually get this finished and link Port Chalmers to the city and the city to Portobello, giving us about 40 kilometres of uninterrupted cycle and walkway. It'll be pretty awesome when it's finished.
There's a ferry from Portobello to I think it just there's some track.
Ahead of us, a headland. This is Roseneath. And today we have decided to go underneath Roseneath. Why not? Fortunately, someone has built us a tunnel. The first of 4 tunnels, in fact, that we will incur on our way to Waitati this afternoon.
I saw that. They sleep. That's what they're made for.
Head down now.
See, that's the problem. I can't put my head down. One of these days, Grandpa will learn.
Don't follow me.
Clear of the tunnel, we find ourselves in Sawyers Bay. What a gorgeous little bay here in Dunedin. Sawyers Bay got its name because of the sawmills that were set up here by the early settlers. One of the first things they wanted to do was chop down trees so they could make houses. They set the sawmills up here. They have long since been removed, but the name remains. It was of course the Scots that really founded our little city. Yes, the Maori were here before them, but it was really the Scots that came here en masse. Arrived on quite a few ships back in 1848. Loved the place so much, reminded them of home so much, they decided to stay. We still do have a very strong Scottish heritage here in Dunedin. In fact, Dunedin is a Gaelic word for Edinburgh, so yes, we are the Edinburgh of the South. Going to climb the hill here, away from the road that takes you to port, so we'll climb up above it, get some great views. So Port Chalmers is only 12 kilometres from town, but the people who live out here in port will tell you it's its own little town. It certainly has that feel about it. Some beautiful old homesteads still sitting on the hill. Should be able to see some of those very shortly. Chalmers is still a very functioning port town. The port itself, largest log handling port in the South Island, and a very busy port for freight. We do get the odd cruise ship in. We're expected about 117 cruise ships in at the start of the season. We've lost a few to snails and dirty bottoms and things like that. Most of them have arrived. Little cruise ship over here today.
No. Who was it? Whose ship?
Beautiful old church we're passing by here. Container ship sitting next to the cruise ship. So it's all got Port Chalmers today. You see all the logs piled up there on the right hand side. Most of those will head off to China for use in the construction industry. Cue the second tunnel.
How many passengers? There's only about 400.
Oh, wow. That's the way to cruise.
Yeah.
Look at that, Jack! I saw another!
I know around the Mediterranean, a lot of the cruise ships are ruining ports because Croatia, the dropping. There's 3 cruise ships in there with 4,000 people on each. You can't do anything. I mean, I had a friend who lives, and he said it was very bad. You get a meal, you get a drink. It's just a small little.
That sounds awful.
And then they all go back to the ship.
We come out of the tunnel and we find ourselves in Kerry's Bay. Well, it's at least below us. Kerry's Bay, world famous in Dunedin, the Kerry's Bay Hotel. Fine little establishment, serves some fine ales and fine food. It's also home to the fishing fleet, or part of it. These boats head out to deep water in hunt of blue cod, which is the fish of choice down here. Although the water has been warming up slightly, and I've heard reports of people catching kingfish and other species that we don't normally see down here in the south.
You live in a city, and you move out on one of the suburbs.
Just up on the hill. It really is. Oh yeah. Yeah, both of their schools are like 5 minutes.
Few little sneak peeks here of the
It's really nice.
port as we work our way around the next few curves. The next bay coming up very shortly is Deborah Bay. Deborah Bay full of lots of colourful little boats bobbing up and down in the water. Very much a safe haven for the yachts here. Just tucked away out of the wind and well away from the main channel there, as you can see,
How high up we are.
full of yachts.
Yeah.
Very gorgeous Deborah Bay. see, we've only travelled 10 minutes out of the city and we're pretty much in the country. Rolling, bush-covered hillside.
I don't see any sheep or cows. I see some sheep. I see wolves.
You keep playing out there.
You can ask about the gum trees regularly. So, lots of farmers tend to plant gum, a quick growing hardwood.
Sheep on the hill.
Sometimes use of fence posts here in New Zealand, more often than not, just a windbreak and eventually some very good quality firewood. As we swing around this next curve, we head towards the Mihiwaka tunnel, which is the longest tunnel on our journey to Waitati today. It's a long uphill climb through the tunnel. Takes us about 3.5 minutes to roll through. And I would just ask if you could remain in your carriages while we roll through here, folks. And if you do have any open windows in your carriage, can you please close them? Thank you.
Ready for a big
There's lights on.
3 minutes. That's gonna be fun.
But there's lights on.
Go.
So there we go, folks, the Mihiwaka Tunnel. Mihi means lament, waka means canoe, so lament or canoe. 1,396 metres long, if you need to be reasonably correct. This does put it in the top 10 longest tunnels in the country.
We're going to go right along this bay. So when we were staying here with your dad years ago, we camped, we had a little house right there on the other side of the waterway. And the train goes through this hill. So it goes right down on that bay. And there's a channel right there. And the tide used to come in every day and go out every day. And come back in every day. And every day. Coming in either heavy or what's that?
What you heard?
Yeah, when they go on these sharp corners, you can see the train on the road.
Starting to get a quick sneak peek of Puroi down below us. Now Puroi is my favourite place in all of Dunedin to go and collect shellfish from. You go at low tide, just wade out to your ankles, and you can collect clams. You're allowed to take 50 per day per person. But 100's too much for 2 people. You just take what you need, leave the rest for someone else, or you can keep taking them. Puroi, a 20-minute drive by car from the centre of town. An absolute world away when you get there. Mostly holiday homes here, although some people do live out here permanently now. Lots of little cribs tucked into the hillside, lots of colourful boat sheds down on the waterline. We are about to get our first decent view of Puroi very shortly. There are some more coming up along the way.
See our little house over there with the red roof.
As we work our way around this inside curve, our first good shot of the bay down below. You can see the water, looks like it's going up. Very thin body of water out on the right hand side. That's where you go collect the clams from. They are exported around the world by southern clams, particularly tasty. I'll either just boil them up and have a bit of pasta, or make them into little patties. Very delicious.
Right, we got to the next carriage. So your dad's just right here behind us. So we go through the door, open up the next door. So we go over there, between the carriages.
So there's a house right across the way.
So around the curve here, can we get the money shot? Great shot of Puroi down below. The pine trees of the Pacific Ocean. See all the way to Karitani and Waitati.
And we planned our trip. We found that on like Airbnb or something.
Purakunui,
Most of our
good, its
trips
proper pronunciation.
coming to
Raku means stick, Purakunui means pile of sticks. I'll tell you a bit more about that.
So
on the way
he was
home.
doing an internship for college, and then we came and traveled with him for 2 weeks.
There's a digger.
And then
Look at the digger.
Natalie came and traveled with him for a couple of weeks. Right?
15 years ago.
Yeah. And then they moved here. The brats. They have grandkids and then moved here.
But she's not bitter about it. Yeah.
So there are roads on both sides of the bay. You go on the far side, you find yourself at the Puroi Inlet. If you come around on this side, you come past Osborne, you've got to work your way out to the beach at Puroi, and then up and over
So it was about 12, 13.
to Canoe Bay.
That's amazing. Wow.
That was the coolest place. It was just right on the water. I know.
Well, it feels like it because you're about the city. It's like, and the speed at which the tide goes in and out, it's just, yeah, it's impressive. You can do it fast.
So fast time.
Yeah, it's super fast. It's really something else to watch.
So very shortly, you should be able to see over the top of the trees here, see the waves breaking on the beach at Puroi. Puroi Beach, one of many lovely long white sand beaches we have here in Dunedin. We are pretty much blessed with them, to be fair. At least 20 or 30 beautiful beaches within a 20-minute drive from the centre of town. And more often than not, you can rock up to the beach and have the whole thing yourself. Sometimes you do have to be willing to share, but quite often that's sharing with seals, sea lions and penguins.
Penguins? I heard
Lots of wildlife here in Dunedin, that's including the students.
Good job, buddy.
As we work our way around this next curve, we should be able to see a headland down below us. In fact, it's an old Maori pa site.
You want to sit on Grandma?
Pa, a Maori word for fortification. So the tribe that lived here defended this land here. They fished off the rocks here. And unfortunately for these guys, they all died here as well. Rather gruesome story, but true. The entire tribe wiped out one night by a warring tribe. Lovely views of the ocean below us. They're about to be wiped out as well. Wiped out by the next tunnel.
He wants to sit on your lap for a minute. Well, you might be able to. I don't know if they're going to. Another tunnel?
big tunnel.
I thought we were done with tunnels. I wonder if there's back up this way too.
Much fewer burner bridges.
Out of the tunnel, you get these beautiful vistas down below. Across the water, Warrington Beach. Down below us, Doctor's Point Beach. Fairly popular beach for dog walking, and there are people with dogs right on cue. It's a very thin body of water in between, and the tide does suck in and out fairly quickly. It does look like it's on its way out at the moment. Little island in the middle of the bay, Rabbit Island.
Can I take your order?
see is Blueskin Bay. Well, lots of people at the beach today. And it's definitely rush hour. Why not? It's hot, it's warm. Great day for a swim. One of the last days of the school holidays as well, I imagine. So people getting out and enjoying it, making the most of it while they can. Now, Blueskin Bay, interesting story about that and how it's got its name. The water does make a beautiful blue skin, but that's not how it got its name. It's actually named after a chief's moko, or tattoo. Tattooing on his face, making his skin look blue, hence Blueskin Bay. We're just working our way into Doctor's Point. A little bit like Puroi, lots of houses tucked into the hillside. Although a lot of these houses have been well and truly gentrified, and a lot of people choosing to live out here permanently. Gorgeous views of the water, north facing, all day sun, and a 20-minute drive into town. Sounds pretty good. So we aren't too far away from Waitati, folks, and it's where we're going to stop today. There's a few things happening at Waitati, so I'll just run through a little list for you. Maybe it is hot and you'd like another beer or two. There are some buses that will be waiting for us, or you guys, if you wish to go to Ark Brewery and try some craft beer that they make. It's $10 for the bus to get you out there and back. It's $5 if you're a child, but I don't know if you can buy the beer when you get there. Alternatively, there's a band playing at the art gallery. Apparently Reese from the band is on today, a band called Super Blue. And they do some pretty cool covers by the sounds of it. Dire Straits, Credence, the Beatles, that kind of stuff. Very easy listening. There's another cafe across the road at the nursery. There's an awesome ice cream shop as well. They've got a few options. Working our way down the hill here. Very shortly we'll swing around the curve. Get a great view of the bay in front of us. I have a couple of hours here at Waitati, so you guys will have plenty of time to wander around, drink and be merry. The train does leave at 5:15, so we leave at 5:15. So it'd be really nice if you guys were back on board by 5 o'clock, just so we know that you're on board and we get underway. So there we have a great view of Blueskin Bay here, although looking slightly brown with the mudflats. Lots of wading birds like to live out here, but uncommon to see lots of swans and New Zealand heron. Even spoonbills tend to hang out here as well. Quite often lots of geese. It's about as many birds as I can think off the top of my head.
Oh,
So I'll love to tell you that we stop at a gorgeous little station here. But unfortunately, it was pulled down long ago. Instead, today, we're going to stop outside a rather lovely shed. Breeze block shed. It's got some beautiful artwork on the side. Some people call that graffiti. Either way, we are going to stop very shortly. The ground is not level, it is reasonably unstable, so you do need to be careful when you get off the train, folks. Your last step down to the ground will be a big one. To try and ease your pain, we're going to put a ramp at each end of the train. So if you don't think you can manage the step down, just wait a while. We'll get the steps ready for you. We'll make it a much easier process. Thank you. And just a reminder about the time, 5:15 we roll out of the station. So if you could be back on board the train by 5 o'clock, that would be awesome. Thank you.
It's probably easier if she gets her citizenship. It's probably easier to get.